What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to another Daily Hacked. I'm Corey.
And I'm Ron. We are excited that you're spending a little bit of time with us today.
All right. So, Ron and I have been a little MIA because we've been working hard with some stuff behind the scenes. But today is the official launch of the Daily Hacked consistently every day, Monday through Friday, or no, Monday through Thursday for the Daily Hacked. And definitely tune in. It's going to be a lot of fun. So, Ron, what do we got going on today?
Well, I don't know if we're streaming appropriately or not right now because you were freezing. So this is going to be interesting. So what do we have going on today? We are going to talk about adjusting in the moment or pivoting in the moment.
Yeah, adjusting along the way, right? And so this kind of hits home with us a little bit. We've been in the online space now for a little while, and I know we've pivoted a few times, but it's so important for people to, I believe, like you've got to know when to stop, think, and know if you're selling or offering or serving the right way. But sometimes you need to figure out if like you've given your stuff enough time, right? Have you offered it enough to enough people?
Well, it's not even enough people. Has time elapsed enough to really understand if it's the right thing for now. So think about it like this. What if somebody invented something amazing but just didn't wait long enough because they didn't see an instant return and they quit or they pivoted away from something that was amazing?
Yeah, I mean, Edison, 1,000 tries on the light bulb?
Yeah.
Right? I mean, he
Yeah.
knew the light bulb was the right thing. He knew we all needed it. But if he pivoted before it officially figured it out and took off, like we would all not be here on this right now. Maybe someone else would figure it out. But at the end of the day, right? And so there's so many great people out there, and us included, right? Like it takes a while to find exactly what you want to do. And so
Yes.
don't stop searching if you haven't found exactly what you want to do and what you want to serve. But at the end of the day, once you find that, like just go all in.
Yeah, and you know what? When you go, I mean, here's the other piece, and I'm gonna get on my soapbox for a second.
Okay.
If you start something and you stop, and then you start something else, and you stop, and then you start something else, your following will kind of maybe forgive you once, maybe forgive you twice, but they're gonna think you're not committed to yourself and what you're trying to get started. You will actually start to lose credibility if you pivot too much too often.
Yeah. What do you think then about, like, for us, for example, we have the Now My Dream 22. We have some other stuff in the works, but at the end of the day, like I feel like the things that we're offering are all complementary to each other, right? They have all got certain pieces and elements that work well together, and so that's why we've kind of gone that route. But we know how important multiple streams of income is. So, what do you say to that when people, or get into something new or pivot, like trying to get that second or third or fourth stream of income?
As long as they're consistent with their core value and their core thing, they can add, like at the end of the day, our core thing was the podcast, and it still is the podcast. And if we're doing it, or if we have an offer, don't have an offer, we're going to have a podcast. Right. And that's the consistency piece. Right. So we can pivot on other things. We could do other things. We have an agency, like that kind of feeds my whole, hey, let's dabble in different things, because the agency kind of handles everything, right?
Right.
The Now My Dream 22, like we were ready to launch that a couple months ago, but you know what? We wanted to tweak that a little bit more before we launched it, so then we would not pivot after we launched it.
Yeah, 100% agree. We wanted to make sure it was the best it could possibly be for anybody that we serve with it, right? And our agency literally sticks to our core statement, which is we help people gain visibility, traffic, and sales. So everything we do in the agency is to allow people to gain more visibility, more traffic, and more sales. And the Now My Dream 22 is that statement plus joint ventures, right?
Yep.
I mean, and then anything we do with podcasting and editing and different things like that, that's all part of the visibility platform.
Correct. And guys, it's important to understand who you are and who you want to be and where you're going, right? And it's better to take the time up front than to rush into something and realize that's not who you're supposed to be. Because if you go all out on something that you are not really that person, one, you got to continue to be that person, or you're going to attract the wrong people to you and your offer.
Yeah, I mean, it's important to know who you are and who you want to serve to actually attract the right people, right? And I know, I mean, we've been blessed with people coming to us for our agency, just because I'm pretty sure we were very sure of what we could do and how we could help and what we could offer, and so the number of high caliber people that have been coming to us is pretty incredible.
Yes.
And so it's a joy and an honor to serve in that way and to serve them. Excuse me. So at the end of the day, Ron, we have like 3 different offers. We have, our high ticket piece. We've got our Now My Dream 22, and then something else that is coming soon. But how do you, what advice then do you give people to really stick with it, to really go all in if they've found something that they love?
Understand it's going to take time, first and foremost, right? If you love doing it, do it. If you love doing it, do it. And if you do it consistently, people will notice. When people notice, that translates into other things, especially if you're speaking very real and you're not changing, and you're staying consistent to your brand, if you will, because I'm a brand guy, and it's about the brand of who you want to become. And as long as you're staying consistent on it and understand it's going to take time. I mean, how many clients do we have that we talk to them and they're like, we want to make X amount of money in 30 days. We've never done anything like this. Okay, so let's just start right there. That's probably not going to happen. Like, let's just realistically understand what it is that you're asking people to give you and why they should give that to you. And then what's the bottom line that you're going to be happy with, right? And then let's work backwards around that.
Yeah, I mean, you got to work, look at the big picture, right? Like, look high level, see who you want to serve, how you want to serve them. And obviously there's, we all want to do things that can support ourselves and our family at the same time, right? But then you got to figure out, well, if I'm going to do 12 different offers, if I want to have, 4 different offers or 3 different businesses or whatever the numbers are, can you really sustain that?
Correct.
Right? Can you really put in the time that it takes to achieve that goal? And I think that's been one of the hardest things for me. And I don't want to speak for you on this, Ron, but there's so many things that you and I want to do, right?
Yeah.
And so it's just as important to say no and to at least look at the high levels. That way we can plan and be intentional throughout that plan to get where we want to get with the things we want to do, right? Like, we help people put on summits. We want to do our own summit, but it doesn't happen before our workshop that's coming up.
Right.
Like, there was a specific plan and intention behind going through that consistency piece and getting through everything that we are trying to do.
Yep. And understand the plan is the plan, and you can add things, but you're better at this than I am. It's one thing at a time, right? Let's finish this before we move to the next thing. I'm like, let's let's do all of it, right? So, but you're much better at, here's the thing, this is what we have to accomplish. This is the stop gate that you can open to get to the next thing. And then you're protecting what you're trying to do.
Yeah. So everyone, it's okay if you need to adjust along the way. It's okay if you need to have a little pivot, but take stock before you pivot. And, if you're in the place that you want to be, that you truly want to serve, like figure out what's the best route to do that. Don't stop and pivot because it hasn't quite worked yet, right? Don't fail and be Thomas Edison and stop before he hits that 1,000th try. Don't stop before you write Chicken Soup series that took 144 months of asking people to publish it, right? Right? Like,
Didn't get that. Could you try again?
Just go and keep going. And
Siri wanted to say hi.
so anyway, I think that's all we got for you guys today. Definitely, if you need to adjust, if you need to figure out along the way where you might go, like it's okay. But is it really time to take a break, or is it just time to figure out a better avenue for the same thing?
Yep. And invite people along the journey. So especially if you have a podcast or you have a way to bring it out there and you are pivoting, invite people on the journey, explain why you're pivoting, what you're doing, and be transparent to get them to understand where you're trying to take them.
Yep. All right, guys. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow, guys.